Wasn't pretty, but we'll take a W. Obviously, it beats the alternative. Got a lot to learn. Got a lot of room for growth. I thought at times, especially the first, 10, 12 minutes of the game or so, I thought we were playing pretty good basketball. And adversity hit. We didn't handle it really well. Credit Miami of Ohio, Travis and his staff. I thought those guys executed well. Larry's terrific. Wow. Coming here just 34 on the road in the SEC. 4-7 from 3. Big fellas a load. They run good stuff. We didn't do a good enough job on Larry, of course. Got to do a better job of that, on high level guards. Felt we played emotional, as I talked about on the radio. Just made some erratic offensive plays, some erratic defensive decisions. Even when we're playing really hard defensively, had some communication miscues. Really, all the way to the end. They had an open 3 late where we switched, but we don't yell switch. So we got 2 on the ball, and we were in a switching lineup out there. Details are really important for this team as we grow, and emotions are very important as well. When we had a couple jump pass turnovers, and then we just try to hit a home run and come up the floor and do stuff that that we don't practice. We just got to be more disciplined. Our attention to details got to continue to grow, both offensively and defensively. That said, our defensive lineup down the stretch did enough. Got a couple tips, got some defensive rebounds, led by Kyron Lindsey, and then of course he was terrific on the offensive glass. And we grinded one out.
You mentioned Kyron. Him and Terry had a run in that second half where I think they were responsible for like 17 straight points for you guys. Just how big were both of those guys in that second half?
Terry did a good job in space and using some ball screens and rejecting some ball screens and getting out in transition a little bit. Terry's a high-level competitor, and he's still learning, and it's going to take time, of course, to learn how to be even keel and consistent at this level, but he's got a chance to be very good. And Kyron, as we told the team, in the locker room after the game, he gets 14 and 10, and we didn't run a play for him. He was as excited about holding seals and getting the offensive glass and getting stops as he was when he scored, and that's basketball character right there for an 18-year-old. Those are positives for sure.
How was the energy that Kyron brings to kind of rub up on the rest of the team?
He's elevated it once games have started. We've got 2 or 3 guys that just play with contagious energy in practice every day. Kai's become one of those guys here in games very early in his career, and he had a good game. This is game 3, so hope he has a good game in game 4 and 5. So, he's got so far to go. If he does this consistently, then you're talking about a guy who's got a chance to be really good. But it's so early in his career. But he certainly got us going, as did Terry. Justin Hill, I thought I thought he made some plays too with some confidence. He drew some fouls. Jason Holt, again, I thought he plays as hard as anyone on this team, as does M.A. Moncrief. We're missing him, of course. But I thought when Juice is on the floor, as long as he's playing within himself defensively and we're making sound, solid decisions and we're not fouling, we're not gambling and reaching. He plays with some good defensive linemen. He's a good defensive piece, of course. But he played well. I thought he played within himself offensively today too, as much as he has. He tacked the closeout, got a layup on a Kyron Lindsey, held seal, hit a big 3 for us. Just didn't try to do too much. And we keep talking to this team as we are trying to define roles over time. We want to give everyone an opportunity, of course, and now it's time. It's the season. It's not the preseason, and we've got to figure out who we want to dribble, who we want to shoot, when and where, who we want to post up, and who are our best lineups at what times, offensively and defensively. And I think Jason is, he looked more settled in offensively to complement his defensive energy.
You guys started off shooting the three really well, and not quite as much in the second half. What did you feel like was working, and can you put your finger on what might have changed in that second half?
Oh, man, thought we had some decent looks. We had some offensive rebound, should-be kickouts that weren't, and it turned into F shots. You know, we have to learn that we can get a really hard offensive rebound, and that doesn't give us a license just to go shoot a bad one that's contested, you know, versus a wall up or a shot contest in the paint. You like the effort to get those extra possessions, but you don't want to throw away that extra possession that you just earned. I thought we got a little tight. I didn't like our body. I didn't like us walking to huddles. I didn't like us walking to timeouts. We looked like a team that was second guessing ourselves a little bit, and that's natural. That's expected. We haven't experienced success. Right? We've got a ways to go to do that consistently, of course. But we've got a lot of looking around, wondering, you know, who's going to make that next play. And fortunately, we talked about Juice's three ball. Jason, his nickname is Juice. You know, I thought that was a timely one for us. Kyron Lindsey had some timely offensive rebound putbacks that settled us in a little bit. And again, those 2 point guards I thought played with a little bit of swagger, a little bit of I belong here. I'm going to make a play, the right play in Roberts and Justin Hill. We'll continue to improve. I'll be surprised if we don't. These guys work. They really work in practice.
I mean, speak to the poise, again, they had cut the lead down to 2, had a chance to tie the game, but
Man.
that's kind of when you found it just a little bit, kind of start putting it away for a little bit.
Yeah, the best part about these games is especially it makes it a little bit win or lose. Obviously, the best part of these games is the opportunity of film here in a couple of days. We're off tomorrow. You know, the NCAA mandates a day off every once in a while, so we've got to be off tomorrow. We'll sit as a staff and watch film a ton tomorrow and hash it out. And what should we change? What should we consider doing? Should we play this guy more? Should we play this guy less? You know, we'll go through all that tomorrow, and then with our guys the following day, before we even mention Bucknell, we'll learn from this film, and there'll be some positives that we'll learn from, and there'll be some winning plays that we made, and some winning plays that they made that we didn't make. We had a couple trying to dribble out of loose balls. We can't do that at this level. We had some guys that dove on the floor certain possessions, of course, and then we had some stuff that just wasn't quite physically tough enough. We had some discipline stuff, you know, with shot fake, jumping, foul, leaning forward, foul, 2 hands on a handler. All those things we talk about, we got to get better. We got to embrace it. We got to buy in. And then some of the offensive decisions too, and lack of execution. But I look forward to that, man. That's what we enjoy as a staff as much as anything is 36 hours from now sitting in a film session. Let's get better.
Terry had some time away, then you plugged him right into the lineup and plays 30 minutes tonight. You didn't have any hesitation that he was good to go and be back to how he was before?
I really didn't. He's been really good in practice. The surprising thing with Terry is that he has this productive of a game in game 4. You know, even though it's game 3, game 5. You know, with an exhibition and a scrimmage. That consistently in practice, he's been one of our highest level performers. Super competitive. He's got great length. He's you know, for his position, of course, and probably our best passer. Can play on the ball, can play off the ball. He's a good player, and was happy for him, of course. But Terry just cares about winning, so he's happy that we won, whether he had 22 or whether he had 6.
Noticed Jalen warmed up and dressed out tonight. How close is he to getting back?
He's not 100%, but he's cleared, and he's got to earn minutes. Him and I met today, and he's got to make his staff want to put him out there, right? And he's going to get opportunity at some point, but he's also competing with other guys, and he's got less reps to this point, so he's got less of a sample size, of course. I know he was having a really good year early last year before the injuries, worked his butt off to get back. Same thing, you know, with Terry. Jay was probably really, really fired that we won, but at the same time, he wants to play, and he's got to get to 100%. He's got to continue to get back in game shape and get really healthy, you know, with his lower body, and then he's got to find a way to earn some minutes. But he's done a good job of helping in other ways to this point.
Any new development with MA, just as he's come on?
Just swollen ankle, got a couple reps yesterday, but not much. In terms of Friday, I just don't know. Hopefully he took advantage of today. Didn't do much in shoot around. Didn't know if he was gonna even dress or not. Literally, I walked in 10 minutes before the game and he was, in street clothes, I believe. He didn't have shoes and socks on, so I guess he's not gonna give it a shot, and that's, you lean on Lance, for those things, and if he could've played, of course he would've played. Day off tomorrow, maybe he gets some reps in, late week, we'll see.
Maybe one more question.
Coach, you talked a while ago about, having so much, being able to go back and watch a lot on film and just learn more and more about your team, all the years you've been coaching.
Yeah.
Has this team had, not necessarily maybe more to learn, but more opportunities to learn about themselves and other teams you've been a part of? There's more learning going on here, I guess.
No. Whether you pick at the bottom, you pick at the top, you're experienced, you're inexperienced, you're a new team, you got a bunch of returns, it's all the same. What's your ceiling? What's your best version? What's your max out look like? And so you're still going to spend just as much time trying to get that team, as a staff, to max out. What is our best version? I will say, not that you're watching more film with each other or with the team, but with a whole new situation for an entire program. Even the 5 returners, it's new to them because it's a new staff and new coaches and new terminology and all that. It's probably more important, and that buy-in is definitely, I would say, more important with it being brand new to everyone. And so we just gotta get on the same page. We want offensively, we want an A shot, right? We want a draw foul or we want to get an A shot. And early in the game, I thought that we did a pretty good job of that. And I think that buy-in can decrease at times based on facing adversity or just getting a little bit comfortable, rather. Well, we're up 17. I ain't got one up in a couple possessions. Maybe it's time to. No, it's our shot. What is Miami Ohio gonna give us, defensively? And it doesn't matter if he's getting a shot or he's getting a shot. If I'm on the bench or I'm in the game, and we got to get to that point where we celebrate just whoever shot it is the right shot. We didn't turn it over. We got a good one, and then defensively, hey, let's get a stop. Let's get a stop. And if we turn it over, we can't just go hack a guy and try to hit a grand slam and get it back. And we got to play sound, disciplined defense.